Hello, everybody. It is 10:14 p.m. Central Time on Friday, the 16th of October, 2020. Hope you're doing well. It's the weekend here in the United States. And I've got an update for everybody on the hotspots. Been promising to get one out tonight, and I think everybody's interested in what's going on with that. So let's get a display capture turned on and go show you what's up. And I'm just going to tell you right now, guys, people in the Midwest, people on the West Coast in California, you got to watch what I'm about to show you. Now, first of all, we're looking at the earthquakes, and we have a spread of earthquakes going across the craton. If you're a new viewer, you can go watch some of my other videos explaining the earthquakes across the edge of the plate. But starting in the Midwest here, about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, a very odd thing happened on the weather satellite that we were all looking at. Myself and hundreds, if not thousands of other viewers all looking along on the GOES 16 satellite imagery at the other fires that were going on the West Coast. Well, as we were looking at those and looking around the country, a strange beam appeared on the shortwave infrared, which is a way to view the fires. We look on shortwave infrared, the fires show up as black signatures, like out here in Colorado, for instance, huge fires in Colorado. But we saw this beam shoot down, purple beam, shoot down right down into here, into the boot heel of Missouri, right at the Arkansas border. At the same time that happened, a series of hot spots appeared that were just going for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes each. Let me just show you what's going on today. Now I'm going to bring us in on a sub-regional view just of Missouri and Arkansas. This is Missouri, this is Arkansas for my international audience. And I'm just going to move the slider back and forth, and what I want you to see is here throughout the day today, look at this. Okay, and again, you might have to look close if you're on a phone or get onto a bigger screen, and I'll zoom in on this so you can get a better view. But throughout the day today, just thousands of little outbreaks of heat that are going across Arkansas and Missouri, and this is across the New Madrid seismic zone. It's been doing this for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, since this purple beam shot into the area. And I don't know what the purple beam was, but I do know that each one of these is showing up as several hundred degrees, like 5, 6, 7, 800 degrees Fahrenheit. And this spot is not farmers burning their fields. No way, with thousands like this, and then they just are all gone. Each one goes for like 5 or 10 minutes, which also can't be somebody burning a field, for instance. It'll take longer than that. And it flares off, and an earthquake swarm struck right in here after this started. So the beam came in, the hotspots flared up. They went for a few days. I made a few videos on it. And then an earthquake swarm hit right next to it at a place called Maynard, Arkansas, or Success, Arkansas. Then a series of hotspots started to appear in other locations, and my buddy, Tattooed 1009, was looking at the GOES 16 heat signature spots here in Florida, and he saw one very close to his house here in Florida. And Tattooed decided to go drive out to the location since he lives very close to this. Again, this is right next to where Tattooed lives, guys, 12 miles away. And so he drove over there, and he went over and looked, and it's high-tension power lines at the location in Florida. No fire there. Hot spot. An arc of some kind of electrical arc showing up. Arcing of high-tension power lines showing up as hot spots down in Florida now. Now, that's not what we're seeing. It's not showing up on satellite. You can go down and look on satellite. It's not showing up. It's just a temporary, quick heat signature being detected by the satellite down in Florida as an example. But these, what we're seeing here in Missouri, are hot spots, and there's smoke that's associated with some of these. Not all of them, just a few of them, which also rules out farmers burning their fields or anything like that, because not all of these are producing smoke. We can even go look on the natural color fire view for the day and look throughout the afternoon. Clear. And then right towards the end of the afternoon, you see a few of them are producing smoke. But throughout most of the day, it's crystal clear while they're going. And then towards the end of the day, a few of them, I guess, get hot enough or ignite something, which then causes the actual smoke. But not very big fires. Again, we're not talking about any kind of crazy outbreak. And now there's red flag warnings also through Missouri and down through Arkansas. So I'm starting this off with the hotspots. Again, let me show them at a close-up view. We'll zoom in on southern Missouri first. And there. You should, even on a phone, be able to see how these are flickering on and off, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then there's just hundreds of them just from Missouri down into Arkansas. And it carries on further down into Arkansas. Let's just go down into Arkansas and show it to you. It's going to be coming in from the northeast side of Arkansas there. Let me move the slider back up here. There we go. Now watch this. There they all are. Throughout the day today. And again, we have red flag warnings going across the area. There's no way those are power lines either. If that is, we've got ourselves some serious shortage going on there. Now, I mentioned California. Let's go all the way over to Southern California. Behold, we're looking in Southern California at Salton Sea. LA is up here. San Diego's down here. Here's the U.S. border. And I want you to look right at the U.S. border, right at Salton Sea. Watch this. Throughout the day today. Look at this, guys. Do you see it? Hopefully you can see it. It's flickering on and off like a Christmas tree. And I'm here to tell you, and it's over in New Mexico too, so nobody can say that this is like a U.S. thing, a forestry burn, or farmers burning their fields coordinating between Mexico and the United States. No one's burning anything out here because of the high fire warning. And look at it. It's Christmas tree effect across Salton Sea. Now, there's something at the location. To top it all off, let's go look at our natural color fire view. And let's look throughout the day today. Do you see this? It's like steam. Do you see that? It's vaporizing off as they're exploding and turning hot. It's vaporizing off. It's not smoke. Hopefully you guys can see this. If you can't, just go look along with me on the actual satellite feed yourself. And we get to the end of the day. There's even some out here in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. Okay, now let's go over and look and see again. Now let me show you what's really there down in Southern California, down south of Salton Sea, that could be producing bursts of steam that are very hot. So here are the hotspot signatures current in the past 6 hours. And I can randomly zoom in on any one of these areas, but from here up to the north, all the way across Imperial and down to Heber, these geothermal turbines and pipelines that go out miles just keep going down the roadsides here to other geothermal turbines that go even further miles, and they go out to drill points where they get steam to turn the turbines. It's a geothermal field. And we go back up here, and here's another set of geothermal turbines across this area. Now, let me show you what else is there. The San Andreas Fault is right there. And I mean, it's right there. The Imperial Fault goes into the San Andreas, right across the Salton Sea, where the volcano is, where they meet. Where the Imperial Fault meets the San Andreas, that's Salton Sea volcano. That's where all the steam is coming from, right here, Salton Buttes. Salton Buttes volcano, marked by the Smithsonian. So just south of the volcano, right at the geothermal pumping operations, and going down into Mexico, which down in Mexico, they have pretty much the same version as Salton Sea. They have Cerro Prieto volcano, and on the side of Cerro Prieto, we have a large geothermal pumping operation down in Mexico doing the same thing. Drilled in to get steam. And in between the two, that's where all the hotspots just appeared. And they're appearing, again, on satellite here, satellite imagery, and there's actual cloudage with these. And we can go back and look on shortwave, which is going to show us the blackish signature of the hotspots there, bursting off on the San Andreas. Now, this isn't happening anywhere else that I can see all the way up the rest of the West Coast. But let's just go look. Let's go up the West Coast into California. Now, we have the fires that we know have been going here, and we have the fire that's going over here in Arizona. But California and Arizona have separate fires that are huge. They're in the black here. I'm just looking for any other bursts like what we're seeing down in Southern California. Nothing. Across all 4-state region there. California, Nevada, and Arizona, and I guess that's southern Utah as well. Let's go up to the north and just see if there's anything up in Northern California. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's just look and see if there's any bursts of heat or sudden outbreaks of... Hey, look! Across Idaho here, there's a spot 3 spots across southern Idaho. Let's go into southern Idaho and take a look. We're looking across southern Idaho now. That's the flat line at the bottom of the screen. And let's just bring this back to the start of the day. Oh, yeah, look at that. Guys, again, we're on the edge of the craton over in eastern Idaho. But look at that. So, start of the day, throughout the day today, boom, boom, boom. Look at that across South Idaho. That's all mountainous. South of the Snake River Plain. And it looks like we have some going on up in Oregon, too, to the northwest or the upper left-hand side of the screen. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. If you're watching along with me, you'll have to probably full screen it in HD. I'll try and do it slow so you can see them. For instance, here and here. And they just go away really quick. They just come on for 1 or 2 frames, which is 5 or 10 minutes. They're also over in the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, but this time it's across South Idaho. Let's go up into North Idaho and see what's going on. We're going to the Oregon, Idaho, Washington border region right here. And let me hit play. This is important to get all these hotspots at a time where the plate is shifting, and we have hundreds and hundreds more tremors today, by the way. So a lot more tremors going on today on top of all the others. Yeah, okay, let's just stop it there. Right here at the center of the screen, you see at least 3. 1, 2, 3. This is Oregon now. That's Oregon. Over to the east is Idaho, and it looks like there's a few in Idaho, but they're getting covered by clouds, so we can't really see them. Yeah, the rest of the day is clouds over to the east, but certainly we have 3 out in front that just suddenly appear in Oregon. Boom, 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 3 of them. And then southeast Idaho across the state line, that's where the others are breaking out. Dang. Okay, let's go up into Washington and look across Washington. Do the same thing and just check and see if anything's going on in Washington. Oh, it's clouds all day on the shortwave even. That's thick cloud cover, by the way. If you can't see through in shortwave, that's thick cloud cover. Okay, well, all right, we're not going to be able to tell there. Let's go do a regional sector and just go up into Canada, see if anything's showing up in Canada. South Canada, the cutoff line, you can see the cutoff line for the view. There are a few in South Canada, but again, they're cloud cover as well. But right over here, there's a little black splotch. South Canada. It's kind of hanging in on there. I don't see anything else looking across, let's say, Vancouver Island, but it's heavy cloud cover. Let's go further up to the north and check Canada further to the north. Wow, all cloud cover pretty much all day. A little clearing right there. Wait, whoop. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, there are. Here, here, and here. Across the center of the screen. They're kind of hard to see. They're flickering out. There's so much cloud cover. You know, it's like rainy and snowy up there. But there they are. At least 2 of them. 2 or 3 of them. This is the Hecate Strait. This is just where that 4.0 earthquake struck. Right next to it. Let's go up and look on Google Earth and see what's there east of the Hecate Strait. Because we have a 4.0 earthquake that just struck up there. We have some hotspots up in Canada next to it now. Here's the Hecate Strait to the east of the Hecate Strait. Let's just get that. Be right on that. They're going 1, 2, and 3. And here's the pinnacle of Hecate Strait. That island. So look, it goes up to the Seismic River Cone and Crow Lagoon. I've never heard of these. Thick beds of basaltic tephra of Holocene age, originating from an unknown quaternary volcanic center. Crow Lagoon. Seismic? The basaltic Seismic River cinder cones. Never heard of those either. Well, what do you want to make of it, guys? We've got volcanoes right there. Cinder cones out in the middle of forested Canada. And there's hotspots there. There's no denying that. That goes right up to them. Right up to them. We have fires up there. What are the chances fires would be right next to the volcanoes up in Canada? So let's just recap, guys. Hold on. So hotspots over here in Missouri, going down into the New Madrid seismic zone into Arkansas, thousands of them again, flickering on and off like a Christmas tree, and then gone. Boom, gone. It's like 1 hour's time, gone. A couple hours time here at 21. Hold on. Starting at about 1700 hours and going to 21. 4 or 5 hours. And each one's going for 5 or 10 minutes. That's the New Madrid seismic zone. Then down in Florida, we've got arcing power lines, and power lines showing up as hotspots on Google down in Florida. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're showing up elsewhere. We have earthquakes that reach down across the areas where the hotspots were, especially in Missouri, which are rare. We haven't seen any activity in Missouri in a long time. I live right here. And just south of here, we got some small earthquake activity creeping into Missouri along the Mississippi River. That's rare. Going over on the West Coast, look, we're looking for large seismic release to take place because of the slow slip which is taking place up in the Northwest. The plate is slipping right now, big time. Hundreds of tremors as the plate is shifting. Each day, the hundreds of tremors. We're in the thousands if you want to go into the whole thing for the last week. Here's 456 today. And 456 is actually a little bit higher than where we were the day before, which was 440. And the day before that, we were at 200 something. And then the day before that, we were at 600 something. But you see where it is. We're in Washington, we're in Vancouver Island, and we're in Oregon. That's where all the shifting's taking place. And that brings us up to current, which then, if we go back to the USGS map, the Juan de Fuca fracture zone up here is the part that's pushing in, that's causing the shifting on land up here. But down to the south in California, down at the very pinnacle tip of the San Andreas going into the Imperial Fault, all of a sudden outbreak of heat right there. And then that's just on the plate boundary that pushes into the edge of the craton that goes over to the New Madrid seismic zone. So this is a sign that the plate is shifting and releasing heat as it shifts. You can add that to my list of weird discoveries along the world of geophysics, that when the plate shifts, pockets of heat are released at seismically prone areas like the New Madrid seismic zone, like Southern California along the plate boundary. And guess what it can lead to? Fires, real fires. Bursts of heat, if they last long enough. Now the real question is what kind of heat is bursting? Is it just a pocket of heat from magma? Is it heat from magma coming up and igniting in the ground some pockets of methane, which then come up as bursts of heat? I mean, these are questions that need to be answered. I cannot just say that it's just some random event anymore. People can't say that at all. We have seismic activity that's accompanying that. To top it all off, earthquake activity accompanies the hotspots, as evidenced by the swarm in Arkansas, for instance. Or anywhere else. I mean, we can go over on the West Coast, and the same thing seems to be happening. Now, is it a sign of an extremely large earthquake? Well, just think about that for a second. Okay, now that we've thought about that for just a second, and I had a chance to take a quick breath and not cough in your ear, I will say that that's probably going to be leading to large earthquake activity. I mean, it's not like we see this all the time. We don't see steam releases down on the South San Andreas in pockets of little bursts all the time. We're watching this thing all the time, the thermal feed, especially in California. Especially in California, we're watching that thing all the time because of the fires. So to have a sudden outbreak of little hotspots at a time where you don't want to be burning anything, and they're all around a geothermal pumping operation at a volcano located along the San Andreas, and you know it is confirmed this is slow slipping up here. The tremors, the little red dots, they have confirmed. The professionals, see, people need confirmation from like professionals or something. I mean, I'm showing them to you right here, the tremors. So you don't need anybody to confirm to you that it's slow slipping. I'm showing it to you. You don't need them to come out and tell you, whoever they are. You know, the people who run the USGS or whatever. We don't need them to come out and say, it's a slow slip, because all I need to do is look at the chart. So if I tell you a slow slip is happening, and I'm showing you the tremors along with it, that go on for a week, and it's hundreds each day, that is the definition of an episodic tremor slip. An episode, days or more, where there's hundreds or more, that's the threshold, hundreds. And if you go into thousands, then you're officially into what we call an ETS. a slow slip. And a slow slip means the plate is slipping. And when the plate slips, in the past, we saw Vancouver Island slip back in 2012, the whole island. From north to south and from south back to north, and then at the center too. Went on for several weeks. Thousands of these little red dots all the way across Vancouver Island. And then, following that up, it stopped. All the tremors went away. A little bit of time passed, a few days, and a 7.7 earthquake struck right in the middle of the Queen Charlotte Sound at the Hecate Strait. There were likely hotspots which accompanied that. But in 2012, I didn't know to look. Somewhere around 2016, I started to really notice that there were fires being reported. You guys remember that first real big fire outbreak in like 2016 or 2017 in California. Most of them, and they went all the way up into Canada, by the way. All the way up. Every one of the fires was at a volcanic location. Every one of them. There wasn't one that wasn't. It was crazy. And that was several years ago. We started to watch then, me and my viewers, on the hotspots out on the West Coast. We started to see the hotspots appear out in the ocean. Did you hear me? One more time. We started to see the hotspots that I'm talking about here in the New Madrid seismic zone. We started to see them out in the ocean, out off the West Coast. Let me show you where. And I made posts on this. Made posts, took screenshots, posted links, everything. So imagine seeing some little black dots. Oh, look. Hey, hold on. There is one right over here along the coast of Oregon. One tiny little black dot, a little burst of heat out over here along the coast of Oregon, where they also have no burn warnings. A couple of them, hold on. Two of them. One here and one here, if you're following along with me, and another one up here to the northeast. Look at that. Okay, so they flare off and flare on as the plate is shifting, I think. But we've seen these out in the water. So nobody can tell me it's, again, a farmer burning their field when we see them flickering on and off out in the water. But I documented this for several years, starting in 2016. By 2019, Vice Media wrote an article about me and the hotspots. This is before this New Madrid thing and everything that's going on now. So I just got to explain to everybody. And Vice Media dissed me hard and said the hotspots don't exist and that only I could see them. Now people are trying to say it's farmers burning their fields. Now they say the hotspots are real, but let's just go look it up. Vice Dutch Sense. See if that comes up. Yeah, earthquake conspiracy theorist is what they called me. And get a load of the graphic on this. This is their graphic they put on there. This is Vice now. And in the article, here, let me pull up hotspots. There we go. And when people go looking for certainty, Janich and others will be there. On a recent morning, as ever, he was broadcasting, zooming around a map of the Earth, showing supposed hotspots, pitfalls, and fault lines only he could see. Okay, now, anybody can see these, by the way. Anybody can go over to College of DuPage and look along on the shortwave infrared and see these hotspots along with me. Only Janich can see? Okay, that was their explanation for the hotspots on the West Coast, coming up out on the ocean and along the West Coast, and then earthquakes hit right by those afterwards. And we've seen this happen, and fires too, fires also breaking out. And that to me is just kind of funny that they would do that they said they didn't exist and that only I could see them. Now, the explanation people are trying to give, including the USGS, is that they're not only Dutch can see them now. Now it's farmers burning their fields. But my retort to that is, what about the hotspots out in the ocean, guys? And the earthquakes that struck after there. And how do you explain the earthquake swarm on the New Madrid seismic zone after how, God knows how long we haven't had a swarm down there? And it hit right next to where the beam came down. See, I'm not listening to any explanations other than the ones that make sense. And farmers' fields just don't make sense in light of the seismic activity and the previous examples on the West Coast, and now down in Southern California. So let's recap. Hotspots are appearing across the United States, including in Southwest Oregon, right next to where we're shifting. We have hotspots up in Canada, up next to the volcanic field, just east of where the 4.0 earthquake struck yesterday. We have hotspots going down across Idaho on the edge of the Craton, south edge. And we have hotspots going on down in Southern California, down next to where the earthquake activity is taking place on the San Andreas Fault. We have additional hotspots and earthquake activity taking place across the entire southern edge of the Craton. And it's not an exaggeration to say that when I can go pull it up on Google Earth and show it to you in all these little red dots that are here on the screen right now. And you can see where they're centered on the New Madrid seismic zone for the most part. Now, I mean, look at what's going on here. Something else is going on that I would like to make note over the past few days since we started to make note of the hot spots. Have you noticed anything about how they're spreading? They're almost equally spaced across each state, which is getting very strange because, according to the professionals now, that this was all a mistake. That it's not farmers burning their field. According to the NOAA, that it's overloading on their sensors and that they have to shut down a couple times a day now and that they have a satellite problem they're aware of. And it's a cooling issue. I'm sorry, not an overheating issue. A cooling issue is what they're trying to say. Now look at the hotspots. Yeah, I'll say a cooling issue. Too many hotspots. Over here in Virginia, for instance. Clifton Forge, Covington, Virginia, on the eastern edge of the Craton. Hotspots. Now you remember there were a boatload of hotspots up here along the Canada border. They're all gone now. Just poof, gone. Something's up with the plate shifting. And we can go along the south. And on the southern edge of the Craton, on the deformed edge going out to the coastal plain, look at Louisiana. And don't tell me they're trying to burn debris from the hurricane. This was happening before the hurricane came in. And if we zoom in on a lot of the locations, they're not farm fields either. We have oil wells at a lot of the locations. Here, let me just zoom in and see if I can find some in here. There might not be some at this location. I don't know. I've never looked before. Oh, we got houses and trees and, well, there's no farms. That's the point. And there are a bunch of oil wells down here, right across the road or across the river. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked on that. Yeah, here's one. I don't know if you guys can see these. The well and the jack. Okay, anyway, the point is, the locations that have the oil wells also could explain why there's some hot spots at the location when they flare off. But out here in the trees, right, nobody can tell me it's a farmer burning their field. And when we have oil wells nearby, and I've already looked those up, I'm not going to waste your time looking up oil wells. The spots that are slow slipping over on the west coast, those are the spots where we have to be concerned for seismic activity to release. These hotspot locations, I don't know what to think on. So, for instance, on the New Madrid seismic zone, I live up here. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh, man. All right. Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. This is ragweed season for me. And people mention goldenrod and ragweed. I agree that goldenrod gets the bad rap. Ragweed is the problem. That's the allergy. Anyway, so the New Madrid seismic zone, I don't know what to think about all these hot spots. When the plate is shifting, it's releasing heat, but is that going to lead to seismic? It has on the west coast. Swarm activity and large earthquakes and fires have broken out at the locations. Large earthquakes, I mean above 4.5. We've seen the hotspots in 4.5 and 4.9. For instance, Southern California. We had the big hotspot outbreak, then the fires took place on the San Andreas, and like 2 to 3 weeks later, a 4.9 and huge swarm broke out on Salton Sea, just to the south. Could that happen again here? We'll wait and see. I mean, I don't know, and I don't listen to anybody else who says they do know when you don't have previous examples of it, and we don't know what to look for. So watch it, wait and see. There's a cluster on the East Coast. There's a cluster in the Midwest. There's a cluster along the southern edge of the Craton. There's clearly high power lines over by Tattooed, my buddy down in Jacksonville. And if these are going back to high power lines in the south, and we have a lot of arcing going on along the area, that's troubling too. That could be something that we've never seen before that we would need to keep track on. Pockets of electromagnetic field interference that's causing arcing across an area. I mean, if I were to zoom in randomly on this spot here, and there's a power line there, like a big high tension power line, or right next to it, there aren't high tension power lines everywhere, guys. So let's go in and see, are there? Is there? There's a road. There's a large road there. Oh, wait. Oh, no way. There is. Right here. There's only a few spots per state that really have these large rows of high-tension power lines. We're right next to it. You see it. It's clear cut across the whole state. You see, we could just follow this down to wherever the power generation station is. Just keep going. Comes down. It splits, actually, there. So we could follow it back up to the north, and that's where the power generation is coming from on this. Oh, wait, there's another one up here to the north. Let's go see. Is it by... It is. There, guys, here's the other set of power of the high-tension power lines. And it's within a mile. So this thing, the detector on this, can get it down to within a mile. Dang. Hold on, let's go down here and see. Is there anything here? What if it's... Wouldn't that be crazy? There is, guys. It's right over here on the east side of Lafayette and south side. It's sandwiched between the two. It is. High-tension power lines come in right through town here. Is there anything else here? I mean, there could be a pumping operation here for all I know. Looks like there's some stuff here. Now, those are sheds, houses. That's close enough for me, guys. It's right there. Look where this is where they cross. Look, that's where they cross. Two sets of high tension power lines. And again, like I said, there's only like one per county. Let's go down here and take a look. Oh, dude, it's right on it. Look. These are the high tension power lines here. Look. And the hotspot is right on it. Across the south now. This is going across all of the south. Let's go up here. What do we got here? This is a real-time discovery, guys. Tat, my buddy, noticed this down in Florida, that his hotspots were showing up next to high-tension power lines. I don't see anything here, but this is woods now. This is deep, thick woods with nothing there. Hold on. Let's zoom in. There's roads. This one has nothing there. No power lines. Just nothing. One. Oh, no. Wrong. Wrong. Sorry, guys. It cuts right down through here. How far is that? That might be too far. Like I said, I would look within a mile. Right? I mean, because it senses within a mile. It can be off by a mile. So the detection could be off. Let's see. Yeah, that's way too far. That's 14 kilometers or 9 miles. What's over here? Oh, wait. It goes up to the north. It's right next to it. It does. It makes a bend and comes up to the north. Or is that a railroad? No, it's the power lines are right next to it. They both cross right there to the west. Now, I'm wondering, is there anything else out here? I mean, again, I'm curious. Now that I've seen like 5 of them coming back to a high-tension power line, let's keep looking. I just want to see if it's at all of them. Yeah, there's another one. Here's another one right here. Look. Another one right here, and here's the high-tension power lines. Look at that. It's a slam dunk. What about this one? High-tension power line. Yeah, again, right next to it, within a mile. Right here. Yep. Wow. Okay, well, that changes everything then, guys. So a lot of these... Here's another one. Look. Arcing. Arcing. That's arcing. Arcing's going to show up. Let's see if we get a temperature on it. No temperature on that one. Let's get one. 3 detections on this one. 585 Kelvin. 585. Now, I know there aren't high-tension power lines coming through this location. No way. There's nothing going through here. And I guess the difference is these are showing up on satellite, that we can see these visibly on the shortwave infrared imagery. And down here, we're not seeing most of these. That these are invisible to the human eye. But the satellite still detects them. There's no way around it. That's what these are. Most of these. Let's keep going. Let's go down to Florida. Let's look in here. Yep. Yep. There they are. That is slam dunk, man. And add it to my portfolio of weird things to discover. Well, let's go up here into Virginia. I mean, does this mean that there's some kind of huge electrical arcing going on up here in Virginia? Are there power lines going through here? I don't see anything going through there. Maybe there are. There are. There are. Look. Right through here. They've clear-cut the trees and you can see the poles. Now, I wouldn't call that high tension, but those are still power lines. The power line goes right through there. They have the cut going through there. That's what it is. Hold on, let's look at this one. At least that's what that one is. Got a house right there. Where there's house, there's electricity. Right? Where's the power line? Right there, along the road. Clear cut. You see it going through the woods. That's not the road. The tension power lines are right next to the road. Here's the road. Here's the power lines. Wow. Well, you know what? This is really going to help. This is going to help. Knowing where there's huge electrical outages or electrical arcs happening across an area, it could be electromagnetically caused, and it's going along. Whoa. The electrical arcing is going along on the edge of the craton. Guys, the electrical arcing is going on the edge of the craton. Look at it. Here, let me make sure you guys can see all this. There. Edge of the craton. That's what it is. I bet if I go up to the north, we're going to find the same. Let's go in and see. I don't know. I could be wrong. There could be, up in Michigan, it might be something else. Let's go see. Oh, is that a road? That might be a road. There's a road. Got a road there. The roads are going east and west, so that's a little bit hard to navigate. I want to find out. Yep, hold on. Yeah, right here, guys. Look at that. Follow the electrical lines down through the trees. That's what it is. It's high-tension power lines right there in Michigan. One of the only hotspots. There's a few over to the east, and they are almost equally spaced, too. Wow, hold on. The electrical arcing is taking place equally spaced almost. Standing wave and a new one just appeared right here as I'm talking. A standing wave along the electrical system, guys. Do you know what I mean? A standing wave. A standing wave like this, but spread out along the power lines. And where each pinnacle happens, that's where the electrical arc is taking place as the system is overloaded by something. Shows up as an electrical arc hotspot spread across the grid. The grid, of course. Dang. Wow, that's huge. Okay, so we have visible hotspots down in Southern California at the electro-generating stations down in Southern California that are bursting off down here. That, again, they do have power lines going out from here, but they're showing up with actual cloud imagery. So there's like steam that's coming off from that. We saw that already. this is starting to look like we might have ourselves a little bit of a geophysical phenomenon taking place with the plate shifting, electromagnetic energy focusing and causing arcs. Then to top it all off, we have the heat releases and the seismic activity accompanying that. And then the icing on top are the beams that showed up during that. And that's a whole separate can of worms we don't want to open right now. I hope this update at least showed you what's going on. I don't know if it's going to answer any more questions than we already had, which is the plate is shifting. We know that because the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network confirmed it. But again, I don't need them to confirm when I see something like this going on. So when the plate starts shifting up here in the Northwest, the rest of the United States, that craton starts to shift. When the shifting happens, I think the plate is going to release heat. But is that going to lead to seismic? Probably. I would think it would. Or at least the potential for it to lead to seismic is there. So we should at least put that on the table as a potential. Southern California, look, we don't have many examples to go on big bursts of heat like this, little pockets all across Southern California. I'm going to watch Southern California now, all the way back up to Central California. Already got a warning going for 4 separate earthquakes, plus a 5th down south. Could just be wrong on it, and it might just be one large earthquake. Hope I'm wrong on all of it, and nothing hit. But with this going on, the hot spots taking place, let's get one last look at them. So, southern Missouri first. Again, across this area, this Boot Heel area of Missouri. Like a Christmas tree, lighting up, and then somebody hit the switch. And that just doesn't happen naturally other than if the plate is shifting and releasing heat suddenly, and then it stops releasing heat suddenly. Humans can't do that. They can't start a fire and get it out in 5 minutes across an acre or two. No way. No way. Now let's go over to Southern California and look in really close down at Salton Sea. This is Salton Sea, and we're looking across the border into Mexico. And starting right here, you see the black splotches flickering on and off. Let me move my mouse really slow so you can see them appear and disappear. Okay, that's all going on right now. If anything else develops, I will jump back on and do an update. Seismically speaking, we do have a little bit of activity that's taken place around the rest of the planet. For instance, Indonesia started to move. Let me just show that to you really quick. Over here, Indonesia and Philippines. Philippines got a 5.4, and Indonesia got a 5.1 and a 5. Well, is that what it was? 5.1. Okay, it came in at 5.3. But they're within a hair of a point of each other. One's to the west, one's to the north. Both are on arrows, and both are on the plate boundaries, spreading out and away, spreading up towards Japan, and spreading out towards Asia. Additionally, over in Europe, just a few more small earthquakes have taken place. Nothing major yet. I say yet because we've got a big push coming out of the West Pacific now. Central America, just a little bit more activity going over into the Caribbean, where the number of earthquakes continues to go. Over in Puerto Rico, we have a warning going between the two, between Central America and Puerto Rico. That's Jamaica, Cuba. There's already been one earthquake next to the Cayman Islands. You can check Cayman Island off the list if you're keeping track of areas that we warned. Okay, hotspot update complete. Man, I'll tell you what, if you would have told me a few years ago that this is what I'd be doing, it's just so weird. The geophysical discoveries that are made when you look into things that people said were impossible are phenomenal. There's room for discovering more, guys. There's more to be discovered. But these hot spots that are appearing, that only Dutch Sense could see, yeah, I think they're going to regret writing that article because, now they're trying to say that they can see them, which is very, very strange. Guess they got some glasses. Peace out, guys. Much love.